Hi there. Welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel where I talk about how much I love books and reading, collecting, special editions, shopping, and libraries. Today, I'm very excited to tell you I have finished the to be read shelf. Such a thrill. I have this new system where I have way more books to be read than these, but I'm building one shelf at a time and saying, I'm going to read this shelf next. And then it's really fun because it feels like you're being really productive, even though I have a lot of books waiting in the wings. But this was a really good one. It did take me quite a while to work through it, but I feel like some real great winners. Let's see. I have this cool vintage Agatha Christie. This is a book club edition, but I do not care because Agatha Christie is impossible to find real vintage or rare, and this just cost me a couple dollars, and it was so good. Such an interesting premise, fun characters, good whodunit, classic Agatha, really, really good. Fun read. The Moonflower Murders. Okay, if you read the Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz, you might enjoy this one. I thought it was a great sequel. I thought it was very smart how he figured out a new way to put the characters in a situation because some things really made it to closure at the first one. I really enjoyed the mini series based on the book. I don't know, is the book or the mini series better, but this one is great and I cannot wait. I'm hoping they make another mini series out of it. This was a really good one. All fun. Oh, The Feather Thief. Okay, when I said I was going to read this, somebody responded and said this book made him very angry, and I understand why. What futility? Great sleuthing, interesting, definitely a world I am not aware of. The very competitive, historically accurate fly tying community, and some theft and some crime and some whodunit, just really good stuff. And yes, slightly infuriating. Nonfiction. The Feather Thief by Kirk Wallace Johnson. I heard an interview with him, which was fantastic. The book is better. The Collectors Apprentice. I've been looking for this for a while. B.A. Shapiro wrote some other books about the art world that are really great and compelling and well written. And this was on my list for quite a while. And I found this copy for just a couple dollars. Really good, fast read, good fiction stuff. Vintage in a way. Let's see, I wonder what this says on the. Let's see. 1991. My mom enjoyed Aaron Elkins. And a friend of mine said that her parents had this and my mom loaned it to them and she offered to bring it to me and I loved it. My mom enjoyed a mystery. She really loved a good whodunit. This is a smaller author, I think, in the Pacific Northwest. Very quirky and funny, and I can totally understand why my mom enjoyed this. She enjoyed sort of a harmless murder mystery, so no gore. And this one definitely fit the bill. Some funny, very sarcastic, interesting sense of humor. I can see she would have loved this. And I'm thinking maybe I should read more Aaron Elkins. So I'll have to be on the lookout for that. Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock presents my favorites in suspense. There are quite a few short story compilations that are sort of attributed to Alfred Hitchcock. You can see what they were doing with the publishing side of this. I do not love short stories somehow. Short story collections, you kind of lost me, but I love Alfred Hitchcock and the stuff that is sort of in his realm is always really fun. And I'm glad that I did this. It does have the short story for the birds, and I loved it. I have never seen the movie. I think it would be terrifying. It was really good. Some of the stories, some of them, fantastic. I think my favorite one was by Jack Finney, and I wondered if it's by the same Jack Finney who wrote, let me see. I remember thinking this is maybe my favorite one, Of Missing Persons by Jack Finney. It's not super long. There's another book called Now and Again, I think, by Jack Finney, and I wonder if it's the same person, kind of a similar vibe. But anyways, I did love this. It is vintage, it's also book club, so it's not super valuable, but it's really fun. This is cool. Dracula. This is a reprint of the version illustrated by Edward Gorey. I love Edward Gorey. I have a lot of books illustrated by him, partly because I love John Blair's and I love John Blair's as a kid. So I collect early editions of the John Blair's, not all first because I am not wealthy and I'm cheap and frugal, but I do have a lot of hardbacks and I'm just missing a couple. But Edward Gorey, I really just think of him, my sort of anchor to him are the John Blair's books, but I do enjoy Edward Gorey in a big way. I had vaguely known that he did illustrations for Dracula, this stage play, and then I believe there is a book that he illustrated, and this is a reprint. This cost me $3, and it is in brand new condition. I read Dracula in high school as a precocious teenager, and I don't remember it very well, and I think that I understood it much better this time. It is this weird genre for the time period where it seems like all the ghost horror scary books were written in this way where the story is not being told to you by the person in first person. There's all of this sort of, I got a letter passed to me by a shady character, and there's this journal, and it kind of gets into that realm. But I really enjoyed it. It is long. It's probably good for you, I want to say, because it's in that kind of old timey. You have to read it sort of through a veil. It was really, really good. Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Okay, huge bestseller. I just hadn't read it. And I have a friend who watched the movie on Netflix and said she wanted to hear what I would say and that I should read the book first. So I've been on the lookout for the book. I found the book, super cheap. And then I watched the movie. I think I like the book better. It is really cool. It is not plain Jane. It is not, there are not a million books like this. It is its own voice, and I can understand why it was such a big bestseller and why it was endorsed by some sort of celebrity type figures. Really good, easy read. The Master of Disguise by Antonio Mendez. This is sort of the main character of the movie Argo, and he is fascinating. I did not realize that he wrote a biography, and then I later found out he wrote another one. This one is really good. Some interesting times in history, some interesting events, but told in a sort of spy novel way. So it was really fun. I'm going to put this in the like kind of good for you, but really fast read. Very cinematic. Cuckoo Land by Anthony Doerr. I understand why this has gotten the reviews that it has. This is a great book. It's so weird. It is set in multiple times. It has these sort of threads tying it together that are sort of Greek myths, and it is strange and sort of social commentary and where are we all going, and really, really good. I am really glad that I bought this. I cannot remember. I don't have an easy, how much did I pay for this? But I'm really glad I found it. I've been looking for this for a while, and I was on the fence about, oh, I remember now. Yeah, this was $3. I had been trying to find it, and I'm really glad I stuck with it. This was amazing. This was a fast-ish read. It's pretty long, but really fun. Colson, Whitehead, Harlem Shuffle. Read great reviews of this. I read The Underground Railroad, loved it. I thought what he did was genius. He sort of took some metaphors, made them a little more strictly interpreted, a lot of commentary, a lot of life experience. I think it's really great when you can read a book that exposes you to worlds that you're not used to or you just haven't walked around in. I thought that was great. This one I did not love quite as much as The Underground Railroad, but it was good. Miranda, some suspense. The Last House Guest. This was really good. This was really fun to read. It was really fast. It was a page turner. I'm sure I read this in a couple days. Fantastic. I always pick up stuff by her when I have the chance. She's really good. I love suspense and mystery, obviously. Okay, and The Once and Future Witches by Alex Harrow. I saw this at a book sale, and it's one of those I just decided to take a chance on it. It was, I believe, $4 or $5, which is quite a bit. Good, long, fun, interesting, tied together, sort of different versions of well-known fairy tales, a good witch's story, which I always enjoy, and really kind of fun. I don't know if I'm going to read this again. I'm going to have to hold on to this and make decisions. My bookshelves are in jeopardy. I only have so much room left, and I'm trying to make hard decisions about what's going to happen to them. So at some point when I was reading this bookshelf, I was thinking, are these guys going to stick around? How many of them am I going to keep for the long term? How many of them are going to need new homes? But overall, this was a lot of fiction, a lot of really good fiction, and then a couple nonfiction, harder, better for me books, but mostly it was fun fiction. It was a lot of books, and it did take me probably a couple months to get through these. So I think it was really fun, and I am really happy with this just one shelf at a time because I really love to acquire books. I love going to bookshops, and when I find a bargain, I can't pass it up generally. So I have acquired a lot of books that are waiting to be read. So in maybe the next video, maybe soon, I'll tee up the next shelf. And I'm always willing and interested to hear people's suggestions. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed or commented or made a book suggestion for me to add to my hunting list of things that I might find and put on the next shelf. You never know. And thank you for everybody who said kind things. I love this part of the internet where people are just positive. So thank you for being positive and happy reading.